The 9th race of the Target Series season heads to the Hillside International for the running of the Axalta 300. So far through 8 races, we've had 8 different winners. We'll see if we get our 9th here tonight. On the pole for tonight's race, Jose Mills in the 40 beside, and second the 38 of Adam McDowell. Then third place, Eric Olson. Fourth place, last season's champion, Brett Sierra. And rounding out the top 5, Eli Bright won here last season in the Target Series. Starting in 6th, we have Max Anderson. 7th is Roman Fenway. 8th place, Madison Tall. In 9th, we have Trey Rainey. And rounding out the top 10, Zachary DeLello in the 24. Back behind them, we have Michael Gregory and Sebastian Dupain, the 33. Then there's Keyshawn Richardson and Tommy Fletcher Jr., the 77, along with Jenny Lloyd and Landon Dinkins in the 6. Then we have Sebastian Kukulon looking for 2 in a row. Landon Lyons, the 92. And rounding out the top 20, Colton Yeo, 55, and the number 5 of Jeff Bright. Trey Bartle, let's go down and get a word with our in-race reporter, Zachary Fitzwater Sr.
All right, Zachary Fitzwater, it's Trey and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Top 4.
All right, well, coming into this race, you're 4th in points there, and you're starting, pretty far back. I believe you're starting 30th. So with that being said, are you going to take it easy here to try to keep yourself up there, or are you just going to go for it and try to get the win here today?
Well, I'm going to try to be conservative at the start, and then when the money counts, I'll be running my way towards fun with a King for 4.
All right, and like you said, you're going to be conservative, and then once we get closer to the end of the race, you're going to start to pick it up here and make your way up front. It's 45 laps here today, so where would you say about the what lap would be the go time there?
Probably around lap 30 if the big one doesn't strike.
That's fair to say. All right, well, good luck today, and if we get a caution, we'll hop back in and we'll talk to you then.
All right, thanks, guys.
There was Zachary Fitzwater Sr., call him the king of NR for many reasons. Won a lot of races, won a lot of championships, looking for his first ever Target Series victory here today at Hillside. 45 laps in the Axalta 300. Let's go on trackside for the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engine!
42 engines fired up here at Hillside for racing at this 1 mile high banked oval. A lot of grip around this racetrack. Going to see fast speeds, pack racing, and a possible accident or 2. With them being bunched together, 3-4 wide action, it's going to cause some disaster moments here. On the front row, Jose Mills 40, 38, Adam McDowell leads to the green flag. Pace car to pit road, 45 laps around Hillside. Mills going to be the first step on the gas here tonight. The Axalta 300 is underway.
Looks like the 40 of Jose Mills cleared himself, but the 25 of Eric Olson's not going to wait that long. He's going to make the pass for the lead as he's going to be able to just get under the 40 there. Now he's to the inside, coming back onto the front stretch. Is he going to be able to get the run, or is Eli Bright going to try to get to the inside and make it 3 wide?
Eric Olson leads the first lap of the Axalta 300. Fast speeds around this racetrack, over 170 miles an hour, averaging well over 170 miles an hour around a 1 mile racetrack. See 180 down the straightaway for Eli Bright. These speeds are fast. 22nd lap times around this racetrack. They get around here fast. It happens really fast. Eli Bright, Roman Fenway side by side there at the stripe. They give it to Fenway to lead lap. Now 3 wide for second position goes Michael Gregory, forcing Trey Rainey to the middle. Up top it's Eli Bright, Eric Olson. Mills going to step to the middle as Gregory wants to lead from the 89.
Yeah, that was an aggressive move there by the 60, but it's what you got to do to get up front here early. As you can see them 3 wide, couple rows back there, 3 by 3 there. Other than that, most of the rest of the field's 2 wide there. Probably playing a little conservative here for the beginning until we get later in that race when the big moves start to come out.
And 3 wide does work here. 4 wide is the breaking point. And most of our accidents, we don't normally see 4 wide accidents. We see accidents where people get hooked and someone gets in the back bumper of someone and spins them down to the inside and collects other cars. But if they do get 4 wide, that's where you're probably going to see an accident as well. As Landon Lyons, winner of Kentucky, moves to the front quickly to his inside. Sebastian Kukulon, the 0055, Colton Yeo, and 30, Justin Zidell. It's a fast shuffle here at Hillside, and we see it. Cars coming from the back to the front and then back to the back again. It happens very, very fast here. We're already 5 laps in to the Axalta 300. Sebastian Kukulon, he's dominated here before in the Target Series, currently leads, but Colton Yeo looking to the inside in this 55. He wants the top spot. Just behind him, Jake Gowing get forced middle lane by Colin Teague as Yo will come off the corner to lead lap number 6.
You can see them now almost stretching 4 wide there, but the 60 was able to get back down in front of the 6 there. Pretty close call there. But, this front pack here, as you can see, the 04 and the 22 are starting to make their way up front. Pretty bunched up here as you probably get mid-back, farther back. They're more 2x2 there. So I would say the front guys here are trying to make it worth to try to get out front so they don't get involved in the wreck behind them.
Yeah, the best place to be at the front of the field. And even if you do wreck later at the front, you can say, well, at least I was inside the top 10 when I wrecked. Levi Schoen, second in the points, wants 5 bonus points for leading lap right here. Comes in 15 back of Luke Rainey's points lead. They both start at the back of the field. Schoen's going to lead the 8th lap for those bonus points. And Luke Rainey is now third on the inside by DJ Reed and Alex Turner. For Luke Rainey, start 42nd in this race. He started at the back of the field, last row, last spot. It takes him now 8.5 laps to get up inside the top 5. That shows how fast things move around here at Hillside as Alex Turner grabs lead, and now 3 wide for Jake Richardson down low. Help from the 42 of Bronson Minnick. Turner's going to lead the lap in the 05.
Yeah, like you said, it does not take very long to get up front from the back. It's like a shuffle here, like most super speedways we have. But as you said, it's a mile track, but they're pretty fast here. So always fast-paced action. You always got to be on top of your game to make sure you can keep your car clean here.
Especially trying to avoid those accidents. It all happens very fast, especially when they crash here. As out front, Jake Richardson clears the pack to the inside. Sebastian Dupain looking. And how about Taylor Brown Price, the 09, comes in last in the point standings. Wants to make something happen here tonight. Try and get his season righted. 9 races in, but he's going to get put middle of 3 by Evan Hunter. And I believe Jake Richardson's going to be the first person to lead multiple laps here in this race. So the 17 trying to hold on now for the race lead. We've seen this before in the past at Hillside. Some drivers get out front. They keep out for a second behind. It's hard to run them down. Here's our in-race reporter, Fitzwater, inside for a second position. Remember, he started back in 30th. He's now up inside Evan Hunter for a second. Comes in 4th in the point standings. Wanting a good point tonight to get to Luke Rainey. And Levi Schoen says they're 4 wide back here. This could be a disaster entering turn number 1.
Yeah, we're going to see what these guys do coming onto the backstretch here. It looks like they're going to be able to clear themselves there unless the 22 tries to peak. They don't do it. Very nice job by these guys to keep them from wrecking. They're going to be able to continue the race here and hopefully, get a better chance to win instead of trashing their car here this early in the race.
Yeah, we saw last night in the Pennzoil Truck Series race, they got 4 wide and sorted out, so these drivers doing just the same job there. At the front of the field, Jake Richardson passed for lead by the 1 of Jay Jefferson. So Jefferson moves to the front of the field in the 1 car, now down to his inside Code Red and Tommy Fletcher Jr. along with Alex Fletcher. So the Fletchers not related, but they're moving forward, 2nd and 3rd on the inside. Now they'll be 1st and 2nd on the inside. And here's the 5 of Jeff Bright looking low. He'll push Alex Fletcher by Tommy Fletcher Jr. Jeff Bright down 41st in the points, so he wants something to go his way. As we're coming around to 30 to go, we have not had a yellow flag yet. Surprising, especially for the target series at Hillside. We're normally accustomed to seeing about a caution or 2 here at this racetrack. Do you think that they're maybe trying to save their cars and keep it going straight, and then maybe they'll get more racing to the end? Or do you think that maybe this is just what we're seeing here this season, that maybe they're keeping it a little bit cleaner for now?
I'd probably say they're being a little conservative. I think they all know the history of this racetrack. Lots of cautions, pretty risky stuff here. But I'm waiting to see what happens here a little later, maybe another 10 laps or so if the tires start to fall off and they carry up the track, which could force some guys 4 wide, and then see how they handle those situations there.
It's Danny Lloyd now for 3rd on Sebastian Kukulon as Casey Nako moves to 2nd, and Jeff Bright has actually gotten away with the race lead, the 5 car, just like what Jake Richardson was doing back there. A little bit further back, they are 4 wide. I think that might be John Smith, the 04. The 40 of Jose Mills, our pole sitter. 2nd in points, Levi Schoen. That's not where you want to be for your 2nd in points, but once again, they're trying to sort it out back to 3 wide. And around goes Schoen into Jake Galloway. They're spinning down to the inside. Back up for Galloway and Schoen. They impact the outside wall, and points there. Luke Rainey also involved, along with Sebastian Dupain. 4 cars spin around. Caution is out. Jeff Bright back in front, and that was the boiling point right there. Back of the field, they wreck, and somehow only 4 cars involved in our first caution flag here at Hillside.
Well, I said they were going to be conservative, but I guess the guys in the back were trying to make very aggressive moves there, but it looks like it cost. I believe that's 1st and 2nd in points, the 88 and the 22 there. Doesn't look like they have too much damage, though, so I don't think it'll hinder them too much, but I believe the worst out of that was either the 33 or the 20 of Jake Galloway. Looks like they took the hardest hits there.
Front 2 points involved in our first caution flag of the day here in Hillside. Let's go see what happened. First caution flag of the night here in Hillside. It's a 4 wide mess as they enter turn 1. They sorted that out. Right there, Schoen was outside the 04 John Smith. Then he backed out of it. But it looks like DJ Reed's going to fill the hole. And he wasn't even there in the 33. Dupain could have been lower, but kind of just ran into the 22. And those four, Jake Gowie and Luke Rain, they go spinning to the inside. Gowie and Dupain definitely got some of the worst of it. Luke Rain's got some pretty heavy damage as well in the 88. Shones did a great job saving his car and keeping further contact, but the caution flag is out, and the front 2 points are involved. Sebastian Dupain, Jake Gowie also involved in this one.
Yeah, it looks like these guys almost had it back to 3 wide, but maybe just a little bit of a misjudgment there by the 22. Maybe he was expecting the 33 of Dupain to be a little lower on the racetrack, but you know, it's what happens here. It looks like luckily the 22 doesn't have too much damage, but for the other 3 guys, looks like they did have damage, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
Caution flag is out here in Hillside. We'll go back green just around the midway point of the Axalta 300. All right, Trey, as we're getting ready to come back green a few laps, let's go now to Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and get an update on him. So we're at 1 to go green.
All right, Fitzwater, you got us here?
Yep, I'll see.
All right, that wreck happened right behind you there. Good thing you weren't back there. So how's the car feeling about halfway into the race?
That's pretty good. We almost won a lot there before at Yellowstone, but that's pretty good. We'll be making our way back to the front.
All right, and like you said, about lap 30 was your go time. You're about 10 laps away, so are we expecting to see you up front here soon?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, then. Have a good one, man.
Yep, thank you, too.
All right, so we're coming to the green flag. Just heard from Zachary Fitzwater Sr. It's about go time. All 42 cars are still left running, but might see some lap cars. Jake Gowie's a lap down. Sebastian Dupain has some damage. Luke Rain, Levi Jones as well. So will those back 4 play an impact? 38 clean cars are running. Out front, Jeff Wright, Max Aronson, Riley Spurgeon, Zach DeLello, Keyshawn Merchant in the top 5 as we're back to green here at Hillside midway through the Axalta 300.
It looks like Jeff Wright got a very good start. They're already out to about 2-3 car lengths in front of the 23. The 24 as well got a good jump there on the start. Dive below the inside of Spurley as 48 of Brett Sear almost caught into the back of the 11 of Keyshawn Richardson there coming out of the corner.
Landon Dinkins looking low in last season's champions. Keyshawn looks on DeLello for 3rd. Max Aronson trying to rally the troops to get to Jeff Brent, the 5. If they work together, they can run him down in the draft. So Aronson stays clear. DeLello stays clear. The first battles for 4th. Brett Sear low on Keyshawn Richardson, bringing Roman Fenway in the A9 with them. Michael Gregory 60 coming low as well as they race off into the first corner. Front 3 get away. It's Max Anderson looking low on Jeff Bright. Through 1 and 2. He's there to the inside. They come off 2. Down this back straight. Who does DeLello go with to try and help to the top spot? He's going to go with the 23, maybe even lower. 3 wide. He'll push Max Anderson by. So with 20 to go, new race leader Max Anderson out front here in Hillside. DeLello to 2nd. Jeff Bright now back to 3rd and has more coming on the inside to fill the hole. 2 Roush cars. Michael Gregory, Landon Dinkins, as DeLello wants the lead now for Max Anderson.
Yeah, it looks like DeLello there, once he got to the inside of the Max Anderson there, his car kind of stalled out. He wasn't able to get away from him, which allowed the 60 and the 6 to catch right back up as they're making the pass for the lead now, possibly even going to make it 3 wide for the lead as they do here. The 6 should be the one as they're going to make it almost 4 wide for the lead there coming out of the corner.
Keyshawn Richardson being aggressive on the bottom of the racetrack. Help from Sebastian Kukulon, Landon Lyons. Kukulon's 1 year before. Lyons won last race at Kentucky, looking for back-to-back. He'd be the first driver to win multiple races this season. Behind Lyons, Jennifer Buford, 18. 16, Mathis Wells, winner at Vermont. 38, Adam McDowley, 2-time Target Series champion. They're all moving forward as they're packed together 3 wide. Lyons almost spins himself off the nose of the 5, trying to get in line. Jeff trying to emerge through the middle. Jeff Buford trying to get to the race lead. They're all scattering at the front of the field here at Hillside. It's getting intense at the front of the field.
Yeah, these laps are winding down here. These guys are going to get more and more aggressive as it comes closer to the end of the race, which could be a good thing for the race winner, whoever it may be, but could also be a bad thing if there is a caution, because you're going to make very aggressive moves to get out front, but it also, you know,
caution.
Good odds there's a caution out right now.
Oh! No! A hard hit,
Massive
Eric
hit.
Olson. Sebastian Dupain, some issues on the racetrack. It looks like Eric Olson spun down to the inside and got collected in a big way. It's our 2nd caution flag at the 30-lap point. We're going to have a late race restart here at Hillside as winning the race back. It was the 38 of Adam McDowell. So let's see what happened. A terrible crash in turns 3 and 4. Eric Olson got sledgehammered by Sebastian Dupain. a stack up off of turn number 2. These cars are really staggered. They're not really 4 wide, but it almost appears as if they would be 4 wide if they're kind of near each other. And I think Olsen's trying to give room to Reed, who's trying to give room to Hernandez. And right there, the 32 Trey Rainey, maybe a little bit lower than he should be, into Eric Olsen, who spins down into DJ Reed. Now he saves his car, but doesn't really slow down, merging back up. Ramps off the banking. The 21 Fernandez gets slight contact. Olsen slams the outside, spins back down to the inside. Luke Rainier points there, barely misses. And right here, coming into it, Sebastian Dupain 33. As the 25 starts to come back with the racetrack, Dupain just right into him. A terrible hit as Olsen spins around. That 25 going to be done. The 33 going to be done. A hard hit here in the Axalta 300 under our second caution flag here at Hillside.
Yeah, it looks like these cars, as they came up the corner, they just kind of all squeezed together. The 99 just hits the 25. The 25 is trying to slow it down. Very close call for the 21 there. But as you can see here, as the car comes to a rest, tries to turn it around, just gets plowed by the 33 there. Lifts the car off the ground. All 4 wheels was off the ground as well. Massive hit here.
And let's go on board with Fitzwater and race report, see what he saw on this. So he's going to see this 25 kind of disappear out of his frame. And then come shoot back up in front of him. Yeah, don't like seeing that.
I'm gonna choose not to see that. I mean, good maneuver there by the 21, especially. You know, if he maybe didn't hit the brake there a little bit, it could have been a lot worse of a hit for him.
Caution flag is at Hillside. Come back to the green flag. About 10 laps to go in the Axalta 300. Coming back to the green flag, 12 laps of racing to go. Adam McDowell, 2-time Target Series champion, currently out in front, and 2 retirees, Eric Olsen and Sebastian Dupain. Jake Galloway, a lap down, still 39 cars on the lead lap. The last 2 of them are the first 2 in points, Luke Rainey and Levi Shones. So is currently Adam McDowell leading the race. Mathis Wells in second. Danny Lloyd in third. 4th place, Jeff Wright. 5th place, Bronson Mick. Then Jennifer Buford. Roman Fenway, Jake Richardson, Landon Lyons, and Max Anderson in the top 10. How about the front 4? Jeff Wright, 2-time Target Series champion. Danny Lloyd, a Penzo Truck Series champion. Mathis Wells, a PTS champion. And Adam McDowell, 2-time Target Series champion. Champions at the front of the field with 12 to go.
As you were saying, you know, a lot of champions here up at the front of the field. It's going to be interesting to see these guys' talents here as they battle it out of here coming to the close of this race. But you can see the 42 there is going to try to spoil the party as the Mathis goes under the 38 there with help from Jeff Bright. But Jeff Bright's going to try to dive below him, make it 3 wide for the lead going in the 1.
Wells led that lap, but Jeff Bright wants to lead back. He's led the most laps here tonight. He's going to take it right away, but Bronson Mick has a run coming off turn number 2 as the 5 wants to move up. He wants to also block that 42. It's not going to be a good arc into the corner. And you saw right there, Minnick's going to hold in the gas and get by. Here comes another Target Series champion, Jennifer Buford, pushing Minnick by. Here comes the 89, Roman Fenway, 17, Jake Richardson. They're all starting to come towards the front of the field. 10 laps to go. It's money time here in Hillside.
Yeah. At this point in the race, you know, the adrenaline's as high as it can get. You're going to make whatever move you think is going to be best for your situation alone. As you can see, the Roman Fenway is going to try to dove as Jake Richardson gets there right before the 89 dives below there. Good move by Jake Richardson. He's going to try to challenge the 18 now for the lead coming onto the back stretch.
You say you make any move that you can at this point in the race. You've been close to winning here at Hillside, and it didn't really go well for you. What do you think you could have done differently in that situation? Do you think that maybe some of these drivers can take advice from what you've had happen here before, especially in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series?
Well, I mean, advice to these drivers there is that if you're racing for the win and you see a car in front of you spinning out, don't hit the brake. Trust me, you know, I thought it was a good idea, but, you know, as some people saw, it really wasn't, and I lost the race here. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes and you just move on and you try not to make them into the future.
Yeah, don't lift. If there's a win on the line, just do not let out of the gas. It is go time. And Jeff Bright knows that. He's not letting out of the gas. But come to 6 to go, he's out in front. Jay Jefferson, the veteran, behind him in second. Keyshawn Richardson, Michael Gregory, they're all stacking up at the front of the field. They're going to be 4 wide back here. Could this be another accident late in this race?
They're going to... Looks like they got it out of the way. Good job by these guys again. You know, I would not say it's be a good time to wreck here, as I believe. I don't know if we would get another restart this late into the race or not, but, you know, you're already up in the top 10. Just try to do your best to get as far in front as you can without wrecking your car.
Yeah, under 5 to go now, so yellow flag would end this race. So Gotta watch out for that. Any point this race could be over. With how these guys are racing, see the one make a big move to the middle of the racetrack, and Jeff Wright's loving it. He's out in front, they're shuffling behind. It's gonna be hard for them to run him down if they don't sell this out right here. Mathis Wells looking low. Landon Lyons behind him. The 24 of DeLello coming back, but can they get to the 5 of Jeff Bright in time? 4 to go. He's out in front, single file as they keep battling for a second behind. They're slowing each other down, doing the shuffle.
Yeah, as these guys are battling here for second pretty hard. I think this is one of the biggest leads we've seen all night here for the 5 of Jeff Bright. We'll be able to see if he's going to be able to hold that lead or not, as they're still 2 wide for second place, which is just going to slow them down.
And to second goes Landon Lyons, Kentucky winner, looking for back-to-back Target Series victories. Zachary DeLello moving low in the 24, trying to get to that 92, and does. Right there, once again, that slows them down. Here comes the 6 of Landon Dinkins, and our pole sitter is coming back. Jose Mills, can he try and go from first to last to first again? I'm talking about him all night long after he fell out of the pole position. Here he's come to the front. White flag this time by for Jeff Bright. They're 3 wide for a second behind him.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if these guys don't, hopefully they get single file coming off of onto the back stretch here, but I think this is, onto the front stretch, my apologies there, but as there's 3 wide again for second, I think this is Jeff Bright's race here, as long as he can keep it together.
The inaugural Target Series champion has not had a great season, back down 41st in points, but this is going to help him. Off of turn number 4, Jeff Bright, the veteran, is going to steal one here in Hillside. A great race for Jeff Bright. Definitely had, I think, the best car here tonight, but he really got out front at the end and never let anyone touch him. Colin Teague ends up in second, Danny Lloyd in third, but it's all about Jeff Bright, the 5, as Brights go back-to-back in the Target Series here at Hillside. Eli won last season. Jeff's going to win this season.
Looks like the Brights have one of the best cars here, especially when they come to Hillside. Looks like it fits their setting here. Like we said, it looks like Jeff Bright had one of the biggest leads here as they continued to battle very aggressively for second place, which, just stalls you out. So, I mean, if you can get yourself out there in first and they just battle for second, you're going to be able to gain that lead.
Jeff Bright, the race winner. Let's go see the finish results in the point standings 9 races into the season. Here are the finishing results for the Axalta 300 at the Hillside International Speedway. 2 caution flags tonight for 8 laps and 22 lead changes. 20 of our 42 drivers solidly at the start-finish line at some point. And the one who dominated, Jeff Bright, led the most laps. I think he's the only one to lead double-digit laps here tonight. He leads 16 of the 45 laps en route to victory lane. As they battle for second behind, no one could catch him. Colin Teague ends up in second, Danny Lloyd in third. Max Ayers and Jose Mills runs at the top 5. Mills started on pole, never got to lead a lap, but still a good rebound for him. John Smith gets 6th, Landon Lyons, Landon Dinkins, Jennifer Buford, and Zachary DeLello round out the top 10. Jay Jefferson was out there, he gets 11th. Zidell 12th, Wells, Kukulon, and Brett Sierra round out the top 15. They have McDowell and race reporter Fitzwater gets 17th, a good recovery after being towards the back of the pack all night long. They have Evan Hunter, Michael Gregory, and Colton Yo rounding out the top 20. As we look down, Keyshawn Richardson led a lap in this race, time with Roman Fenway Code Red. Jake Richardson led 4, ultimately gets 25th. Last season's winner at this track, Eli Bright, 26th. Minnick led a lap in 27th. Then down here, Trey Rainey, Taylor Brian Price, Alex Turner, and Luke Rainey are points there. He keeps the points lead, but with the 34th place finish is now tightened up. They have Fletcher, Hernandez, Spurley-Tube, Nanico, and Shones finishing on the lead lap. Jake Galloway lap down out of this race. Sebastian Dupain and Eric Olson from Crash Damage. Let's now go see the point standings after Hillside.
After race 9 at Hillside, Luke Rainey is still your points leader after, not the finish he truly wanted in 34th, but, he still comes out of it 11 points ahead of second place, which is the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater. He's closing in on him. And third is the 42 of Bronson Minnick. Fourth, 16 of Mathis Wells. In fifth place in points is the 22 of Levi Shones. Sixth is the 18 of Jennifer Buford, followed by the 24 of Zachary DeLello, the 40 of Jose Mills, the 1 of Jay Jefferson, and 10th in points is the 2 of Colin Teague. 11th is the 64 of Evan Hunter, followed by the 47 Madison Tall, the 29 of Code Red, 33 of Sebastian Dupain, the 92 of Landon Lyons, the 77 of Tommy Fletcher Jr., 55 of Colton Yo, the 04 of John Smith, 21 of Hernandez, and rounding out the top 20 in points is the 6 of Landon Dinkins.
Right now, 2 wildcard spots, 9 races into it. Sebastian Dupin landing lines. That's big to kind of update after every race because it's gonna change, especially once you get later in the season. It's gonna be changing every single race. You can have drivers fall out and take up wildcard spots. Jose Mills is barely inside the top 10. If he falls out, he has a win. He takes a wildcard spot. You look at drivers down here. If they get a second victory, they could jump up ahead of drivers with 1 victories like DJ Reed, Riley Sprutu, Matt McDowell. They're just outside the top 20. Further down, Jeff Bright. That win tonight moves him up to 37th in the point standings, but he needs a lot more to get up inside the top 20. He is a good ways back, over 100 points back of the top 20, so he'll need to get possibly, I would say, another victory or two to try and get that wildcard spot. Down at the bottom of the points behind Jeff Bright, Galloway, Baskers, Fletcher, Trey Rainey, and Taylor Bryan Price. They've not had great seasons, and it's showing with their points positions, and you have to think that's going to be very, very hard for them to get into the chase after their first 9 races, basically a third of the way down with the season. It's going to be very hard for them to try and make up that ground, but we'll see how race number 10 goes. We're in the double digits, and we're going to a very unique racetrack in a different country as we go to the Rockingham Motor Speedway over in the United Kingdom for the Unilever 400K. We will see you guys then.